Welcome to Tea with PBD, and today we're talking about microsteps. You might ask, what do microsteps have to do with emotional and sexual empowerment? And I was kind of thinking about that myself and wondering if I should even put this video out there on my YouTube channel. But it's been a life-changing concept for me, and it has been the thing that has most helped me with overwhelm. Overwhelm is a place that I go to very easily, and yeah, I just feel overwhelmed a lot of the time, or I have until this tool. So I wanted to put it out there for whoever needs it. So I have 13 steps for you towards figuring out micro steps for a big goal. And that in itself might seem a little bit overwhelming, but I promise you they're very little tiny steps, which is the whole point of this. So what is a micro step? A micro step is anything that takes 15 minutes or less. Yeah, just 15 minutes. You can break anything down into micro steps. So the first step is to take 15 minutes, and it's really helpful to actually just put the timer on your phone for these and to get really clear on what your goal actually is. A lot of times we focus on what we don't want, but we actually often don't even know what we want. So that's the first step, is to get really clear on what it is you want, and to be very specific and to have it be measurable, like not necessarily, oh, I want to feel better. Well, how will you know when you're there, right? You have to be really specific, like, I want to be making this much per month, doing this specific thing, or I want to run a half marathon when I'm 40, all of those kind of things. So it has to be very specific and measurable. The second step is to take 15 minutes to brainstorm all the actions that you need to do in order to accomplish your goal. So all the steps that you can think of that might take you there, what are those? The third step is to pick the top 3 of those, the 3 most important steps or most important actions to get to your goal. That should take 5 minutes, if that. The fourth step is to brainstorm for 15 minutes all the internal resistances and things that are holding you back from accomplishing your goal. Oh, I'm afraid of being seen. I can't overcome my resistance. I like sleeping in too much in the morning. Whatever, all the internal things that are holding you back. Brainstorm that for 15 minutes. The fifth step is to pick 2 of those, the 2 biggest, most important internal resistances that you have. The sixth step is to take 15 minutes and think about what can you do to compassionately overcome or work with those things, those internal resistances that you have. Maybe you can reward yourself every morning you get up early, etc., etc. The 7th step is to pick 2 of those, the 2 biggest actions that you can take to overcome your internal resistance. The 8th step is just to write down those 5 actions. So you have your 3 external actions to get you towards your goal, and you have the 2 actions that you just picked to overcome your internal resistance. So write those 5 actions down. And the 9th step is to break each one of those 5 actions down into micro steps, which is anything that takes 15 minutes or less. So it could be research on YouTube 1 way to stop procrastinating. 1 step. Another step. Research a 2nd way to stop procrastinating on YouTube. Next step. Choose one of those 2 ways. Next step could be text my friend Ashley to see what has helped her be successful in her small business. The next step could be research trade shows for 15 minutes. Research trade shows for another 15 minutes. Choose affirmations for my mirror. Write affirmations on my mirror. Right? You get the idea. So it's just really small, bite-sized chunks. So yeah, so all 5 steps into micro steps. That is step 9. Step 10 is to decide, how many micro steps do you think you can do every day? 15 minutes a day? Great. 2 micro steps, half an hour every day? Great. You pick whatever you feel comfortable with. Pick something that you know you will do, and something that you know you can stick with it. The 11th step is to set up accountability. When you have been successful in the past, what accountability have you had? Is it showing up with somebody else? Is it texting them? Is it putting stars on a calendar? What works for you to be accountable? So the 11th step is just to decide how you're going to be accountable to these micro steps. And the 12th step is to set up the accountability. If what works for you is to cross it off on a list, then this step would be to print it out and tape it up somewhere. Or to text a friend to ask them to be your accountability partner. Or something that I've set up for me. What really works for me for accountability is to have somebody else that is doing it with me at the same time, or doing something with me at the same time. So I have an accountability group set up where there's 3 of us and we meet once a week for 3 hours to work on our businesses. And we just like set up a Zoom call and mute ourselves, and we all work on our own businesses and we don't even really talk to each other. But it's something that we have set up with each other so that we have to show up. And it's really helpful for me. Like, that might seem ridiculous to you, but it's really helpful for me. So yeah, just find out what works for you, set it up. And then the last one is do the actions. Do your 1 to 2 to 3 to 5, small micro steps every day. And you would be shocked at the things. I worked with a friend of mine a while ago, and she was super overwhelmed at setting up her business. And by the time we were done, she was like, holy crap, I can do all of this in 30 days, just working half an hour a day. And it was really mind-blowing to her. It seemed really doable after she broke it down into micro steps. So I hope this is helpful for you. If you have any questions or comments, let me know below. Hit subscribe if you liked this video to get more of my videos. And good luck in all of your endeavors, anything you decide to do.